Hello and welcome to your first lesson of geometry. We are diving right in with points, lines, and planes. And we're going to start with vocabulary. Because anytime you start a new unit, you have to start with vocabulary. And you really have to know it. Kind of knowing it won't work. Let me give you some examples of when kind of knowing it didn't work. How about this one? Dead slow children playing? Yeah, only kind of knew the translation. How about, for a proper service, please turn on the vacuum cleaner when using the shower. Thank you. Okay. Cream milk with coconut humans. Appetizing. This is my favorite. Eating carpet is strictly prohibited. Gross. Okay, so clearly, you have to know vocabulary, and now we're going to learn some vocabulary of geometry. So this is when you get your notes out, and the first vocabulary word is point. Point is a location. It has neither shape nor size. Now, this is the first of what we'd call an undefined term, meaning that we don't really have words that we can use. We just have to use examples and descriptions. So, point. A point is named by a capital letter. For example, here is point D, right? Next one, line. A line is made up of points. It has no thickness or width. There is only one line through any 2 points. Okay, a line is named by 2 points on the line or a lowercase script letter. For example, line L or line AB or BC or AC or ABC. No, not ABC. Only 2 points get to name the line, not 3, 2. Okay, plane. A plane is a flat surface made up of points that extends infinitely in all directions. There's exactly one plane through any 3 points that are not on the same line. A plane is named by a capital script letter, capital script, the line was lowercase script, this is capital, or by the letters naming 3 points that are not on the same line. This is when you get to name 3 points, okay? So plane N or plane ABD or plane ACD, there's a lot of different options. But what you can't use is plane ABD because they're all on the same line. Speaking of the same line, our next word is collinear, and that's a fancy way of saying points that all lie on the same line. Okay, for example, A and B are collinear points. Coplanar, what do you think that means? Points that lie on the same plane. So, for example, we've got points A, B, and D are coplanar. Next is intersection, which is a set of points that 2 or more geometric figures have in common. So when 2 things come together, two or more geometric figures, where they come together is the intersection. For example, if we have plane P and plane N and they come together, their intersection is line AB. Okay? Then space. A boundless 3-dimensional set of all points. Space can contain lines and planes and points and all kinds of fun things. That's the overview of your initial geometry vocabulary lesson. Now we're going to start to use some of that as we're talking about linear measure. Okay? Pop quiz. True or false? A line goes on forever. Does a line go on forever? True. Okay, what does not go on forever? That would be a line segment. For example, AB is a line segment. We can name it either AB or BA. And notice on top, it's got that little bar, and that tells us we're talking about a line segment. We can also talk about the length of AB. Notice there's no little bar on top. When there's no little bar on top, that means we're talking about the measurement of something. So let's measure it. We can either say that the length is AB with no bar, Or we can say that the length is about 17.5 centimeters. Don't forget the label. You always have to label it centimeters or inches or whatever, because if you don't label it, then I'm like, I don't know, what, 17.5 oranges? No, don't forget the label. Okay, look at this. What do we know about point C? Well, to use one of our new vocabulary words, point C is collinear with points A and B. We also know that point C is between points A and B. And that's one of those things that, like, you probably would have said that anyway or just naturally, but it's actually a mathematical term. Point C is between points A and B if and only if A, C, and B are collinear and AC plus CB equals AB. We'll get back to that. Is point D between A and B? No, because they're not collinear, okay? All right, so let's go back to this AC plus CB equals AB. Here's an example of how that one works. Let's say that AB is 16.5 centimeters and AC is 5 centimeters. Well, what's CB? So we're going to use that information in the equation. 5 plus whatever CB is equals 16.5. Now I got to pull in those algebra skills, subtract 5 from both sides, and CB equals 11.5. Okay, let's try another one. Find the value of A and AC if C is between A and B and AC is 2A and CB is 10 and AB equals 4A minus 6. Holy cow. Like, sometimes these just turn into alphabet soup, right? So take a deep breath. First thing you're going to do is draw a picture because we've got to sort out all these letters. So draw a picture. We have a segment and we know that the segment is A and B and that C is somewhere between A and B. That's the first line. Second line, we know that AC, the segment AC, the measure is 2A and CB is 10 and AB is 4A minus 6. Okay, so we've made sense of that alphabet soup. Now we can solve it. All right, so same formula that we used before. AC plus CB equals AB. The little parts of the segment added together equal the whole segment, right? Okay, so 2A plus 10, those are the little parts, equal 4A minus 6, that's the big part. Pull in your algebra skills, subtract 2A from both sides. We get A equals 2A minus 6. Add 6 to both sides. We're trying to get A by itself. 16 equals 2A, so A equals 8. So go back and read the problem. It said find the value of A and AC. Well, we just found A. We still need to find AC. We know that AC is 2A. So now we can just plug in what we found that A was. 2 times 8, we know that AC is 16. So always go read the problem. Make sure you're solving what it's asking for, okay? Another vocabulary word, congruent. Segments that have the same measure are congruent. And this is the sign. It's a little equals with a whoop on top, okay? So if we have this segment, A, C, and B, we'd say that AC is congruent to BC if C is right in the middle. And to mark that it's congruent, we use 2 little lines, 1 line for each congruent part. Let's practice. Is MP congruent to PN? So MP is 12, PN is 10, those are not congruent. Is MP congruent to MN? Both 12? Yes, they're congruent. So that wraps up the first lesson on linear, points, vocabulary, all kinds of fun geometry, alphabet soup.